Hey there, and welcome to GemStars, part of the Untold Stories Project. I'm Wiki, and I'll be your host and game master this evening. GemStars isn't... Who's giving me feedback? GemStars is an actual play of Mutants and Masterminds 3rd edition, the world's greatest superhero RPG from Green Ronin Publishing, set in the world of Lafandi. Mutants and Masterminds is a D20-based system that allows players and GMs to create stories featuring all of the greatest heroes of their imagination. One of the fun things about Mutants and Masterminds is the inclusion of hero points. These allow heroes to re-roll a die, take an extra action, recover from a dangerous condition, make small scene edits, or use powers in creative ways. Heroes each start with one of these hero points and can gain additional hero points for good role-playing, funny jokes, clever decisions, having their characters' complications used against them, and by your generosity. That's right, if you subscribe, renew a subscription, or donate bits to the stream, you will generate a hero point that you can give to the player or GM of your choice. We are a small but growing streaming network, and those follows, subscriptions, likes, and comments, both here on Twitch and over on YouTube, help to keep us visible, growing, and paying our bills. Now, let's meet our heroes for tonight. Say, GemStars activate, heroes.
GemStars activate, heroes.
That was as big of a train wreck as I had hoped for.
That's why I was on mute.
Usually, this is where I ask the heroes to introduce themselves, their characters, and to answer the question of the day. But as this is our section 0, we're going to do things a little bit differently tonight. We'll be saving character introductions until after the general rundown of the game. But I do want to go ahead and let our heroes introduce themselves before we get started. And I'm going to start with, let's start with Calvin.
Okay, so I'm sorry, just introduce like myself and
just introduce yourself.
Okay, so okay, just wanted to make sure. So I'm Calvin. I'm here usually on Mondays in the Starhaven game, but now I will be here on Tuesdays in the GemStars game. And I'm also over on the Win with Dice channel on YouTube, where we have weekly podcasts and gaming streams, which are super fun. I don't know what else I should say here.
That's good.
Okay, then I'll just then I guess I'll just pass it on to Aaron.
Hey everyone, I'm Aaron. You may have seen me in this time slot as the game master for City of Destiny. I've also been in several of other games, including Born of Rage and why am I forgetting the name of our Blue Rose game? Yeah, so I'm a founding member of USP, and I'm very excited to get to play Mutants and Masterminds. Thank you, Tales of the Finest. I'm very excited to get to play Mutants and Masterminds and not be the GM for it. So, and I will punt it over to Brandon.
Hey everyone, I am Brandon. You have probably seen me before at this time on this day in our City of Destiny game that wrapped up not too long ago. So excited to explore a different corner of our little omniverse. Yeah, so I will pass it down to Blue.
Then hi. Blue, you have probably only seen me or heard me if you were paying attention when we were doing something dragons online as a podcast, or any of the one shots that I might have been popping into. I don't do much in the channel in actual campaigns, so I'm really excited to be here and actually going to be in a campaign for once. Woohoo! I have really nothing else to add, so I guess I'll hand it over to Aunt Puppy.
Hi, I'm Aunt Puppy. I usually play Keone here on City of Destiny that wrapped up a few weeks ago with Brandon and Wiki and Aaron. Okay, that's everybody. I was like, hold on, I don't even, well, and Joe, but she's a trash panda right now. So the City of Destinies was my first endeavor into this. And since then I've done I think just one shot. Or two. No, I did two, because I did a Marvel one, and then I did the one shot, The Mummy. So
Limited series. We call them limited
Oh,
series.
is that what we're going with? Oh, okay. I like the one shot.
Certainly, if Alex is running it, it's a limited.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Series.
The best part is we can kind of make fun of him, and he isn't gonna really know. That's really it about me. There's nothing all that exciting, so I will pass it back to Wiki since Joe's not here.
Yes, we do have a sixth member of the team. Unfortunately, she is running a little bit late because she is traveling today. But she will be joining us as soon as possible, and we'll let her catch up when she gets here. So, as a brief introduction to the game, this new series is called GemStars, and it came about because I said, hey, I could run a game on stream when we were thinking we would need something to fill in for City of Destiny when it wrapped up season 1. And I had this idea of, well, what about magical girls? And thus GemStars was born. It is, as we've said, going to be set on Lafandi, which is a place that we were introduced to during the Nether War game, as created by, oh my God, my brain just stopped working.
You're good.
Created by Andy from our Monday night cast. And I sort of took the concept of Lafandi and ran away with it. I stole it and I ran off. And as we know, Lafandi is a magic and gem-based world that is extra dimensional, sits outside of the regular dimensions in space. And all of that is going to come into play in our little game here. And we started off with characters by me saying, pick a color and pick a theme and go with it. So once again, we will start with Calvin. Why don't you give us a quick rundown of your character?
Okay. Well, should I also describe her gem powers or just herself?
Yeah, you can tell us what her theme is and what her powers will be.
Groovy. So my character is Arcelia Fortis, who has the Ruby Gemstar of Strength. She's super strong, super cool, and basically the result of me watching a whole bunch of Sailor Moon and a whole bunch of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and just kind of mixing those two things together with maybe like a hint of Korra in there. There's like a smidge, and maybe a little bit of inspiration from Gurren Lagann as well. I'm not sure what much to say about her. She's got some really cool powers that I'm really excited to use and really excited to yell out loud every time I use. But I wanted to save those for in-game. She is also a fangirl, as it were, it's not like there's, I don't know, anime and manga on Lafandi, but there's a series of novels that she's super into. And it I believe it is called the Shining Justice series of novels, of which there are about 9 or 10 volumes. There are 10.
Well, there will be 10.
Yeah, there will be 10. There is one that's coming out, and we'll probably get into those in the game.
The author just won't sit down and write that final one.
That's probably the situation at hand. So yeah, she's been a big fan of those books, so she tends to fall into her own sort of fictional universe whenever she's trying to avoid having to do work in Eopanon, the underground city in Lafandi, where a whole lot of mining and crystal gathering happens. Her family does have some long-held traditions there, being part of a significant mining guild that we'll probably talk about a bit more in game. But yeah, I'm trying to think of things to say about her. It's been a while since I've done character introduction.
I mean, you could say as little or as much as you like.
Yeah, I think we'll cover more when we get the ball rolling and everything. But yeah, she has a family that has like a whole lot of traditions, and she decided, I'm just gonna invest my time into this fun thing instead. But she's still got a lot of family stuff to deal with, and now she has powers.
Well, she will soon.
She will soon.
Soonly.
Yeah, I do have my transformation sequence scripted out, so hopefully I get to use that.
So we've required that Calvin is going to have to like film the whole thing so that we can share that with you.
Ooh.
I'd film an
It
anime.
needs to be a musical.
Do we need others? I'm in.
I mean,
So no, go ahead.
don't tempt me. I mean, I already have the song in mind and everything.
Oh my goodness. So I did mean to say that my main influences here for our version of Magical Girl is actually going to be Sailor Moon, Miraculous Ladybug, and a whole lot of Green Lantern. So, because Green Lanterns are magical girls.
And don't you say otherwise.
And I will die on that hill. So next we will move to Aaron.
Hello. I am playing Braylon. Braylon comes from the nomad clans in the Jadeite Expanse, so they do not have a family name. They're just Braylon. Braylon is specifically a member of the Iodosian clan from the Expanse. And Braylon has the Amber GemStar of Transmutation. So the Braylon was a fairly typical member of the clan. They were very quiet and studious, and they were very devoted to their people, and very xenophobic, very isolationist, thinking that the clan should keep to themselves and have as little to do with the cities of Lafandi as possible. When they turned 17, they went out for their rite of passage and wandered out into the Expanse for a vision quest, which would help them know their path in life. Braylon is non-binary. And when they came back several months later, they were different. They had been attacked and very seriously wounded by a predator out in the Expanse. And in addition to the physical injuries they had sustained, their memories had been somewhat clouded. They remembered their own name, and they remembered most of the people in the clan, but everything was just kind of like coming in through a fog. As they recovered, they also had a bit of a shift in personality. Instead of insulation and isolation, they now were fascinated by other people and other cultures. And because of that interest in other cultures, the elders chose Braylon to be an assistant to the consul in Pearl, possibly being groomed to eventually take the place of the existing consul. Now that they're in Pearl, Braylon is a bit of a social butterfly. They don't have any super close friends and confidants, but they have lots and lots and lots of friendly acquaintances because they are interested in hearing everything they can about everyone's story. Power-wise, Braylon's gem, the Amber Gem, lets them do two main things. The first is transmutation into all sorts of different non-living objects. So kind of like Metamorpho from DC Comics. And they can also transmute objects that they hold. That is a little bit more of a strain for them. So it takes concentration and they have to be holding the object. So it's not a trick that they will pull out in combat very often, but it is one of the abilities of the gem. And I think that's everything that really matters about Braylon. So I will kick it over to Brandon.
So first, I'm going to be the first one to call it. Braylon got hit by a body snatcher, and that's the reason for their personality change.
Instead of just classic head trauma.
Instead of a
That's
concussion.
far too simple. I am playing Kingsley Palace, and she possesses the emerald, or will possess the emerald gemstone of luck. She is that rarest of PCs, a happy person with a good and wholesome background, which Wiki will certainly use to torture me.
I'm not Alex.
Hold on. Neither Calvin or I had an incredible amount of trauma to go through.
Yeah, I mean, Arcelia had like one thing that I didn't talk about.
She is the only daughter of the owners of Palace Aeromotives, who designed and invented the next gen airships, as well as the more recent portal ships. And she is yes, pick me. And she is also, noted for having good parents who are still alive. Let's see here. So she is just, before she even got the gemstone, she was just a very lucky individual, one of those people who just everything always seems to go right for them. And as part of that, she actually has a second secret identity. Not only is she the GemStar known as Emerald, she is also secretly the world famous singer Jade Crystal. And thinks that, well, being a hero could be a lot of fun. And with that, I will pass it down to Blue.
Great. Hi. Great. So I will be playing Morganite. Or the GemStar Morganite. So there go by Mary. Welcome to me failing a character introduction. I am nowhere near as experienced as everyone else. But Mary, I literally was like, oh man, I need to make a magical girl character. And I went, I know, let's make a basic magical girl character. So I made the bubbly, happy, energetic, we can do it. I believe in you all. We're all friends here. And then went, that's a little annoying. How do I make this make more sense? And then was like, oh yeah, we'll take the gem of positive energy. So Mary's powers are very much the healing, buffing, making sure everyone else does their thing well. And I don't want to do the things. You guys got this. I believe in you. Power of friendship. Yes, the powers are vibes.
She's the heart ring.
Mary is like that in normal life as well. The only thing that Mary really has going on is at a young age, they lost their brother. They never found his body, but it's assumed dead. But that made their parents very, very very, very protective, anxious, nervous. So Mary is very used to having well, make sure you're careful about this, honey, and make sure you know about this, and don't go too far. We don't want you to get hurt there. And also knows first aid because, well, you never know, you might get hurt, honey. Their parents are a bit protective, but definitely they care. I also made a backstory where parents are alive and not completely evil. It's a shocking little game we're playing in. But yes, they are the power of friendship. She is your basic anime protag friend. Just hopefully a lot less annoying. That's about all I got. So I'm Puppy, that's all over to you. Wrap this up.
All right, so I'm playing Elliot Ruxford or Alexandrite. Hers is the power of magic. And I kind of went for a kind of Scarlet Witch meets Loki meets Wiki. I forget what the third person was that I told you.
I think you said Jessica Jones, but I think you steered away from that a little.
Yeah, I steered away from her.
God.
Oh my God. Ugh. Oh, it'll come to me later.
Alex.
So she is from Shadow Netherbrook in Shadow Fallen. So she is kind of a little bit demonic. Which
She's
feels
a lot of bit demonic.
Yeah, it just feels right. Yeah, it just feels right. So Elliot has both of her parents. Her mother is named after the Greek goddess of the underworld, night and witchcraft, which is Hecate. And then her dad is Seth, which means the one who dazzles. And he is, in their world, a baron, which is a high level ranking person in their, well, I guess thing in their
Person
thing in Shadow Fallen. So she's kind of not necessarily wealthy in terms of money wealth, but very powerful wealthy. At least her family is. And then she does have a fraternal twin sister named Bates, who is her polar opposite in terms of how she fits in with the family. So in Shadow Fallen, I don't know how detailed you want me to get, Wiki, if we're going to go into this later.
Don't go too deep.
Okay. So it's a scary underworld type place. So most things that bring us joy are banned over there. But the barons and all the high-ranking people have access to all of that and kind of rub it in all of the poor's faces. So Elliot does not like that, which is obviously opposite of how her family should feel. But with the help of her mother, she helps smuggle some of this contraband to the poor's. To kind of
I love that you keep referring to them as the poors.
The poors. So she doesn't think it's fair that all of the powerful people are hoarding all of this kind of good vibe energy. So she's kind of to help, lift everyone's spirits a little bit in a dark and dingy, basement of a world. She smuggles them from her father and various people to bring them to people. So she loves reading and music and all that, but you never really be able to tell because she has to kind of play a part. So her sister Bates is the polar opposite. She fits right in with the family. She is very she doesn't like the poors, and she thinks she is basically better than everybody else and has kind of always had it out for Elliot. But she is the younger sister by 2 minutes. And so to her, she's the baby. So she gets to get away with everything. Whereas Elliot is the adult and the grown-up and the twinness, even though 2 minutes really isn't that big of a deal for them.
Totally a big deal.
Only when you're exercising is 2 minutes a big deal. Okay, where was I? So because they are high ranking, they are Bates, the good bad sister, has gained a lot of favor with the Empress and the other barons that are there. So both of them have now been betrothed to another set of twins. And of course, she's betrothed to the one named Azazel, which is also the means scapegoat. So she even in all of this, she gets the one that's not the favorable one. Whereas the sister gets the one named Cain, which is Irish for son of a fighter. So,
God.
but Elliot wants nothing to do with any of them or the world that she's in. She's just hoping that she doesn't get killed while trying to help the poors.
She's waiting for something better to come along.
Yep.
Of course.
Yep.
Ah, yes.
Poors.
The lower class.
Yeah. So because of where she's from, she does have a lot of different physical characteristics. So she has pointed ears and the horns and all that, and it kind of just, well, she looks cool. So that's all that matters to me.
She looks really cool.
So I will pass it back to Wiki.
Not at all like a demon that'll eat your soul.
I mean,
You don't want
all
my
the
answer on
names
a
of-
demon eating
all
my
the
soul.
names of her powers are basically like she can put you to sleep. She can take your breath away.
You don't want my answer on a demon that could take my soul away.
Yes, she kind of is kind of a tiefling. That is true. So at this point, I would pass it to Joe, but Joe has not arrived yet, which is a slight problem for more than just introducing characters. She's also involved in the first role play scene for today. And I kind of can't move that around because they're kind of in a certain order.
Oh no.
Do we
Can
wanna
we take
flim
audience
flam
questions?
for-
Yeah.
Yes. Whilst we wait for Joe, would the audience have any questions about the world, about the characters? We're happy to answer those if we can. Oh, yes, this is the map of the Fondi.
Who else is doing accents? Not me. There's a little bit of a voice in mind, but my throat's also killing me. But it's not an accent. It's just anime voice.
You
Yeah,
will
I
not, you
could
do not want
attempt a
me
British
doing an
accent.
accent.
I could attempt a Cockney accent, but it won't be able to last for very long because I just think I sound funny. So then I can't stop laughing, and then I can't keep in the accent. So
If my throat wasn't hurting so much, I'd do something jokingly, but instead I'm waiting until we actually get into roleplay scenes to actually do any voice.
Yeah, I actually was planning a Cockney accent for a while. I was practicing it because I didn't want to mess it up. I was, doing the whole bottle of water thing. But
water.
Oh my god.
I found when I was doing that, then I was losing my ability to do Alara's accent. So I don't know. I had to choose between those.
You know what? I've got it. Ruby should have, this is gonna be a stretch for you, a Canadian accent. She just makes a boot all the time. And all her sentences with A.
She can, when
I already
she's
do
kicking
that.
someone, she's kicking them a boot.
I hate you all.
Oh, I got both of them. Girl, do you see
Cockney
my
GemStars
character
is
sheet?
not where it's at.
Oh,
Cockney GemStars
All
is
the names are puns.
I'm in much the same boat that Jemmy is. I'm fighting all sorts of congestion. So I was planning on doing a character voice for Bray, but I do not think it is going to happen tonight because I'm just trying to get through the stream without breaking out into a coughing fit.
I mean, we'll see what can happen here. I forced my voice into dumb situations and worse moments. I've started high-pitched singing while skipping along the street, and it's not a smart choice. We can do a high-pitched anime voice. I'm just not going to do it if it's not needed.
Some of my NPCs might end up with really dumb, terrible accents. You never know.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, we do British Day at my house on Sundays sometimes, where the whole family talks in a British accent. So
That sounds like so much fun.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know where it came from or how it started, but we do it every once in a while. Even like the 4-year-old gets into it and like we attempt it. So I can relatively do it for a relatively long time, but it's so funny. And all I can hear is my 4-year-old niece talking in a British accent, and then it makes it funnier.
The only accent I can easily drop into is my Irish accent.
Irish, let's go. Make Braylon Irish.
But I already played an Irish character on the streams.
Yeah, but you don't play the Irish one anymore. We need more Irish rep.
But I'm not Emerald.
That's
I was gonna say
I can't do an Irish accent.
It's easy. Just start swearing really fast and you'll drop into it.
Not
So
wrong.
we do have a couple of new questions. One of them being, what about my take on Lafandi do you like the most?
All of it, because I don't know any of the other ones. So
Exactly. I don't know the original take, so I don't know. You let me be a magical girl on stream, and you're gonna let me yell dumb things and make it all cutesy and like woohoo! Like, why wouldn't I like all of it?
Also,
Jupe.
Jupiter Rocket, Jupe, just subscribed. Thank you. Who would you like to give a hero point to?
do those carry over? Because if they do, I will subscribe. And
Yes,
get my
it will
one.
carry over.
Were you waiting?
I'm gonna wait to resubscribe until next week so that I can use it.
I am just going to point out that my power set could will eat all the hero points it can get.
You got to Ruby.
Yay.
Congrats, Ruby.
So did we want to answer that question?
So my favorite part about Wiki's take on it is actually something that we've only briefly touched on, which is the whole Darkfall thing. Because honestly, until Wiki shared that with us, I was sitting there going, I have absolutely no idea what our central conflict is going to be about. So...
And then there was Darkfall.
And then there was Darkfall, which is super interesting and breaks up the setting of Lafandi from what had been written for Another War in really fun and interesting ways. So that's what I like most.
Aunt Puppy, I'm assuming you're giving Elliot your hero point.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'd already written it down. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
Sorry, I'm very distracted by whatever this really bright light is over here, and I don't know where it's coming from.
It's your
I guess it's a
GemStar.
reflection.
No, it's my stupid frozen 5K or medals.
What about you, Calvin? You're the only other one here, I think, that experienced Lafandi before.
True. I really like the descriptions you've given for the regions that have been covered, and also the map, which I was talking about a bit beforehand. I just really like how it makes it feel more, because we were previously just doing more stuff in a specific area, sort of, when we were here previously. But now it's more like we have a whole continent to deal with that each has its own history and personality and the kind of people that come from there. It feels like more of an expansive place, and I'm very interested in seeing like this big group of characters from all over the place going there and how we'll interact and bounce off people from those areas. And also magic tech is really cool.
Well, I can't take credit for the Magitech. That I just gave it a name.
Well, it is a cool name. I'll give you credit anyways. No, the concept of the Vox crystal is fun.
Hype train.
And for the record, I do have a world anvil that I have been building for Lafandi, for our version of Lafandi. And at some point, we will make that link available so that people can get a look at what the players understand about the world.
Bold to assume I understand it.
Personally, I'm excited about playing in a steampunk Krypton.
It is a little steampunk Krypton. That is true. Again, most of that came from what Andy had already created for LaFonde over on Netherwar. So, Alex, who are you giving your hero points? Your hero points? Did you subscribe twice?
Someone you
That's me. Do I get to choose it then? Or does that still go to Alex? Okay, Alex. Oh God, I gotta choose something then. Ooh, that's weird. I mean, I could choose myself, or I could be funny. Uh, so I'll make my dad not murder me in my sleep, and I'll give it to Amber.
You know, I've played with your dad for multiple decades now. I've never known him to be looking to murder someone in their sleep over hero points.
You don't live with him.
Wow. All right.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
We're gonna move on before someone gets murdered on stream. Our next question is, where in the timeline of Resonant, the extended universe, does this story fall? And that is an incredibly great question that I cannot answer. Spoilers.
Or rather, not spoilers, which is why.
Yeah.
Because answering it would be spoilers.
Yes. I think that the answer to that question will become clear relatively quickly, but we can't answer it just yet.
We have a GemStars emote?
Yeah, I saw that. I was
have
like, I didn't want to say it, but I was like, oh, it's so pretty.
I can't figure out what the heart one is.
It says shapes. It's a
Okay. I can't read it because it's black with my
It's-
I have everything set on dark. So
Yeah.
like, I can't see the background. I'm like, what does that even say? I like couldn't see it.
Do we have an anti-Sophie emote?
Yes.
yes, we
I
do.
also that one just looks like a big stop sign, like a big no. Like I can't see what it says underneath of it. 'Cause
I
I've got-
wasn't aware that Twitch had a dark mode, so I didn't take that into consideration when I made the emotes. Now that I do know, once I get back from vacation, I will work on fixing that.
Of course,
Good
Fook and
one.
Alex is the most popular one. Alex.
There's the penguin playing.
Yeah, I can't see any of those. Stop it.
No.
Just switch to light mode.
No,
Yeah.
but then it like reflects off my glasses and it's like super bright and then I can't see.
Can you at least see
Yeah.
Fook and Alex?
I can. Barely, but I can.
Shush, Streamlabs. We're sending emotes.
So,
So
This is your runaway train, Wiki.
Toot toot, tugga 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 tugga, bam.
Joe, where are you? Are you at Dragon Con yet? Are you in Atlanta?
Are there other questions?
Big glowing rock friend.
I mean,
You know, that reminds me of something, or makes me think of something that I want to see at least once. I want to see Amber turn into a solid crystal, Ruby pick her up and throw her at people like Crystal and what's his name.
oh yeah, I've been trying to figure out who on the team is best to throw.
me.
Perfect.
I think it's gonna be Amber transformed.
Because I can absolutely transform into a big rock with several levels of increased mass and impervious 20 and
Yes.
with slam attacks. And then you can
Fastball special.
Yes. Well, I'm very excited for these combo moves.
Our glowing rock friend, are we referring to Rar?
Maybe. It would be cool to have a glowing rock friend.
Ooh, that's a good question. Starslayer asks, who are you excited to play off of player-wise and character-wise? I mean, it's a tough question because I'm excited to play off everyone. But I mean, yeah, I haven't had a chance to play with Aaron in ages. He's always been my GM, so I'd say maybe that would be my preference, to be able to get a chance to play with him again. Although Aaron maybe there was a one shot we both played in, but nothing. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. But yeah,
7th C. We were in the 7th shot, but I had to leave early because our dog. Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think other than that, it's been over a decade since we've both been players in the same game.
Yeah, so I'd say just because of that, if nothing else, that's something I'm really looking forward to. But everybody's always, I mean, this is a phenomenal group that's always fun to play off of.
I mean, I guess I'll pick up there. I mean, I'm excited to once again for also once and forever actually get to play with my dad instead of by my dad running. But I think out of the cast we have of like the other GemStars, I'm probably most excited to play off Emerald, because I looked at Emerald's character, looked at Mary, and went, "Oh, they're going to talk forever together. They're gonna meet each other and be like, 'Hi, you're my new bestie. Let's go.'"
Pretty much.
Like, we've got a friendship right there. I was like, this doesn't have to make a stretch. I don't have to be like, I'm not gonna be like, ooh, how are they going to interact? It's like, no, they're just gonna see each other and be like, we're friends now.
You know that tone and speed that young girls in middle school hit when they see their best friend for the first time in a while?
Yes.
I suspect it's going to be a lot like that.
I'm in high school. There are the
going to want to jump off a bridge.
You are also going to be forced into the friend train. Everyone is going to be forced into a friend.
I feel like Elliot's going to be like, she's the introvert that's going to be adopted by one of the extroverts, and she doesn't know which one. Yeah, someone's going to adopt her, and she's like not even going to know what to do. She's just going to have to live with it.
I mean, mine's the youngest, and I'm still looking to adopt all our introverts and be like, welcome to the team. You're my friend now.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't decide because I don't know what the interactions are going to be like yet. So I'm just looking forward to see what those all feel like. I know Arcelia would be really excited for all of this because she's like, oh, hey, it's real now and I'm in the story. And we're all best friends together.
Yeah, I can't wait to see her reaction to becoming Shining Justice.
We are Shining Justice.
There's gonna be so much squeeing.
Lose her mind a little bit
everywhere.
As for the human I'm most excited to play with is Calvin, because the only time I've ever played with him has been the 2 crossover or 3. Did we do 3 crossovers or 2 crossovers? And no matter what they were, I essentially tried to stab him. So like it'd be nice to like play with him instead of trying to fight against him.
Are you sure though? I mean, looking at your character, you sure you're not going to
shut up
at least once?
Well,
shut up.
She doesn't have any stabby powers. Her powers are she'll just try and like shoot. Like,
we need to silence Deuce. Deuce needs to be silenced. I'm sorry, because that was a question of how long before the musical episode, and
that's
today.
An excellent question.
That is a horrible question.
I may or may not work a musical curse in there.
Is it 3 weeks?
Just like
everybody start practicing.
What are we singing?
Elliot
Are
will
we-
definitely not sing.
You know what? Hold up. If we make a magical girl opening, I'll chip it on the singing. If someone writes us an intro, if someone writes us a magical girl transformation or intro song, sure, we'll sing it.
I'm totally in for that.
I'm in. I'll do it.
I can already
Yeah.
tell Calvin's just like, that's the greatest idea of all time.
I mean,
Oh,
I
no.
am married to a musician, so I mean, there's
We
that.
Tell him
gotta
to get
make it the
ready.
most Glitter Force. Like, I don't know if you guys watched Glitter Force, but Glitter Force was another one of the magical girl animes that started off really innocent, and then I don't remember it exactly, but I'm pretty sure by the ending I stopped and went, "Is this a kids show anymore?" But Glitter Force has like one of the most amazing intro songs, and it's not actually good, but it is.
Well,
So I
I
say we
mean,
do it.
that's it then. Yeah, we gotta
We
we
gotta
gotta do it.
There is
we gotta
no
get
choice.
Glitter Person.
And Puppy, you have your job.
Hard pass.
I'm also going to hard pass on that.
Your girl here doesn't
You know
sing.
That's what auto
Why
tune
is
is
it banned?
for. All we got to do is just make you say the right words at some point, get them recorded.
Well, it wasn't. I would be more like Buffy in her musical episode, where like she doesn't sing at all, but everybody else sings, but she doesn't sing at all until like the very, very end, and it really
Buffy?
isn't that much singing.
Did we watch the same Buffy musical episode?
Buffy sings the very first song in the musical.
Does she? I thought she didn't sing until the very end. 'cause
She
I know
sings the
Sarah
first
Michelle
song.
Gellar didn't want to sing.
She joins in on the singing for all of their furies. This is just top of my head. She is like the lead singing in the big call to action song.
Because I only remember her singing in the one where they're at the club.
The very first song in the musical is Buffy doing her "Life Has No Meaning" and "I'm so bored" and
I don't
Yeah.
remember that at all.
So before we get lost in musical episodes of television, I think what we're going to do is, it is a bit early, but I think we're just going to go ahead and
oh hey,
we're
Am
no,
I?
we're not, because she's here.
It's been a day. It's been a day. Hi.
Everyone, this is so excited. We have found a wild wandering Joe.
It's been a day. I'm sorry.
Brandon also got removed from his square.
It's fine. He'll get over it.
Portal is jealous that I'm not playing him right now.
Oh no, now we're all gone.
Into the void.
All right, everybody knows what emote needs to be used right now.
But we do.
Yeah. Yeah, we
Yeah.
And you'll be able to start to get
It's
in.
the same
Yeah.
emote we use every night.
do.
what emote do we want to use tonight, Brain?
I'm so sorry. Thank you for being patient with me. Oh my god.
Well, we're glad you're here.
Me too.
It's Alex's fault anyway.
See, what the audience can't see is that
I can't see
Alex
anything
is-
right now.
well, they can't see even if when they can see. Alex is here on the Zoom call with us because he's running the stream. So he keeps making these gestures of what?
Vaguely offended gestures of
Because we can't resist taking digs at him.
What have I missed? I'm so sorry.
character introductions, human introductions, answering questions, arguing over the musical number.
In Buffy.
Girl.
It is too bad that no one else saw your face do that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't realize.
Wasn't ready for that statement.
We're making a magical girl intro, duh.
Oh, okay.
No, they want the
Yeah.
episode to be musical as well.
No, I don't want that. I just want an intro.
I want both, but
I want both.
Oh yeah, you want to do the live singing. I admire you.
Yeah, hard freaking pass.
Yeah, you don't want me singing. No.
At no point did I say I would sing well. I just said that I wanted to
Right?
Okay. I get
Alex, do we need to go ahead and take that break so that you can fix things? Okay. Okay. Just checking.
pay no
Our
attention. to
producer
the
has
man
told
behind
us
the
that he will have all of our faces back up shortly.
Okay.
Woo!
Okay.
So, Joe, why
hey.
don't you introduce yourself and introduce your character?
Okay. Yeah. Hi, everybody from the deep darkness of nowhere of the stream right now. In the echoey place I am renting for DragonCon. I am Joe. I was playing Carol Irons in City of Destiny, and now I am playing the person who will become to be known as Sodalite. She has been somewhat of a solo adventurer up until this point. Kind of a weird past in there that can be a little dramatic at times. And oh, sorry, darling. Yeah, and I guess the biggest thing that to note is people have a very hard time remembering her. Like if she's at a market trying to just buy food and someone turns around to get whatever she has paid for and turn back, they're like, oh, hi, where did that client go? Oh my gosh. So yeah, that's going to be a fun obstacle for her to deal with, is getting people to remember who the heck she is. I don't know how much else to say. I don't want to give away things because spoilers exist.
You can give as much or as little as you would like.
She is very quiet, and she has a little crystalline mousy companion that she just calls Mousy because she is not good with naming things.
Another introvert.
Not by choice, I don't think.
Still counts.
Yeah.
Still counts.
But Mousy is sick, and she has come to Pearl to try to help Mousy get better.
I love Mousy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna die for your mouse.
She this girl, she is typically all wrapped up in all kinds of blue and gray shimmering fabrics, to where you can't see most of her, and Mousy lives like in a little pocket right here next to her shoulder, her right shoulder, and will come up and like chitter in her ear and then go back down and sleep. That's Mousy.
We have faces again, everyone.
Oh,
We were also getting
exist.
vaguely insulted by other members.
We are no longer disembodied voices.
We are simply insulted faces when you say that half of us are back, and your father responds with the important half that
I
you are
mean-
not in it.
Wow.
I think,
All right. So
I don't think my father should be saying that to me.
with our
I'm okay with it.
with our initial shush,
Sorry, Mom.
with our initial introductions out of the way, we're going to go ahead, and tonight we are going to do some little short snippet RP scenes to help give a little better idea, a little better understanding of the characters before they come into the game. So these are all sort of, they're kind of flashbacks from where our game will start next week.
Oh, so we're doing a series of vinaigrettes.
Yes, vinaigrettes, salad dressings. Yes. So we will begin with our salad dressings. And we start 5 years ago. Lafandi, extra-dimensional planet of magic and light. It's shimmering, beautiful colors, visible even from the darkness of the space surrounding it. We zoom in on a vast jungle. Its shades of green darkening in the fading light as night falls. As we break through the canopy of the trees, we see a bustling campsite. The temporary village of one of the nomadic clans that call the Jadeite Expanse their home. Celebration is in the air as the clans prepare for sacred rites that will begin in 3 days' time. On the outskirts of the site, sitting around a small fire, we see two figures, teenagers. One is a few years older than the other, and there is a sense of tension and excitement humming between the two of them. Aaron, Joe, why don't you tell us who we're looking at and what they're doing? And Aaron, you're on mute. Okay.
No, I knew I was on mute. I'm trying not to cough on the stream. So one of these two teens, the one who is slightly older, has blonde hair that is pulled back in a ponytail, but perpetually has wisps falling forward. Dressed in the orange and browns that are common among the Iodosian tribe. Although the cut of their outfit is much more masculine than feminine. And yeah, they're sitting there kind of tapping their foot, twiddling their thumbs, doing anything they possibly can to hide how nervous they are about preparing to leave for their rite of passage, where they get to, wander off out into the expanse and have a vision quest. And they're sitting with
a few years younger, a girl that is wearing some of the traditional garbs of the tribe, but then underneath is a blue base layer. Her parents are nearby, and they still wear military clothing from the lapis lazuli country, military country, and they just have a couple of markers on their bodies, like armbands and whatnot, saying that they've been accepted by the tribe. And this girl's name is Seteta, a name that she was given by the tribe, and she has long silvery hair that's about shoulder length, and darker skin tone from her parents' genetics and all of that. And she's just kind of bouncy and bubbly, and she sticks close by and is doodling in the sand or the dirt near the fire, and just jabbering away just a little bit, trying to get her friend's mind off of the rite of passage that's about to happen. But being younger doesn't really know how to handle this situation. Yeah, so excited, so excited. You're going to get to go, and you're going to get to discover things, and you get to be a grown-up.
Yeah, being a grown-up is somewhat overrated. Or at least that's what I hear. But I mean, no, I'm excited. I want to do this. It's part of our culture. It's part of being a part of the tribe. But I don't know. I've got a bad feeling. I'm worried. I mean, they don't talk about it, but some people don't come back.
I mean, when was the last time that happened, though? It's fine. Like, we go out into the wilds all the time, and there's all the runes that we play on, and the animals are always nice. You're going to be fine. It's going to be great. I know you're going to be great at this.
7 years ago, but
I didn't need an answer. Okay, fine, but
No, I know. You're right. I'm being silly.
I mean, they could have found someone and fell in love and just never needed to come back. Who knows? I mean, my mom and dad never took us back to Lapis because they love it here with the tribe so much. I love it here. Do you think the elders will ever ask me to go on a rite of passage?
You've been accepted as part of the tribe, so I would imagine so.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah, I can't see why they wouldn't.
What do you think it's going to be like?
Well, if I knew that, I wouldn't be so nervous.
Okay.
But no, I don't know. I'm just nervous.
I'm so sorry you could hear that. Oh, okay. I made you this. And she pulls out a little package that's about this big, and it's just like it's clumsily wrapped, just like old paper with like a twine bow on it. Hands it over.
Should I open it now, or should I wait till I'm out there?
Open it now because I want to make sure you like it, and if I need to redo it, I still have time.
Okay, fair. So Braylon begins to open the package. And what do they find?
Little ginger snap cookies.
My favorite.
So they're extra zippy, and so hopefully like when you wake up in the morning and you're a little homesick, you can just eat one of these and it'll make it all better.
And while she is saying that, Braylon steps forward and sweeps her up into a big hug, and is just like, you are the little sister I never had.
I'm gonna miss you so much, but it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Don't make me cry right now. I don't want to cry.
I'm gonna miss you too.
Okay.
But it shouldn't be more than a month or so, and I'll be back, and maybe I'll even break the rules and tell you what it's like before you have to go do it.
I won't tell anyone. It's not really telling anyone if it's me. It's different.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Deal.
We share our brains up. So.
And as you break apart from your hug, you find one of the village messengers has come over and gives Braylon a nod and says that the elders are ready to give you your task.
I guess it's time.
And leads you off to meet with the elders. So now we're going to jump to 6 days later. Braylon, it's been 3 days since you left for your rites and the quest that you were tasked with. You were tasked with the duty of returning Elder Uridine's crystal to the Temple of the Fallen. You currently find yourself in one of the Expanse's swamps as the twilight hour begins to break into starlight darkness. You've been tromping around all day in the wet and the muck. You're pretty sure you're lost. And now the shadows around you have morphed into something that feels sinister and oppressive. What would you like to do?
I'm going to assume that I have some way of making light, either a luminescent crystal or the ability to light a torch.
Either of those is fine.
Okay, so yeah, Braylon will reach into their bag and they will pull out a crystal that, when they squeeze it, gives off a soft yellowish light. And they will also reach into their other pocket and pull out one of the ginger snaps that have been made for them, because that will help give them You know, they're even saying to themselves, okay, you're imagining things. There is not. It'll be fine. I just need to find someplace where I can camp for the night, and I'm sure in the morning I'll be able to figure out where I am again.
Give me a perception check.
No, I'm not good at that. That is a 13 on the die for a 16.
Not bad. So as you're standing there munching on your cookie and looking around for a place to camp for the night, you hear a rustling, and it seems to be coming from the low-lying bushes off to your left. You listen a little bit harder, and now you're absolutely certain that you heard the snapping of branches over in that direction.
Okay. Most animals would be scared of a light source. So as long as I hold this out in front of me and don't run, because that tells them that you're prey, I should be fine.
As you're telling yourself that, from those, from the, from the low-lying bushes where you heard the sounds coming from, what can only be described as a creature leaps out of the bushes straight at you, and it's a creature you have never seen before, and you, being from the Expanse, have seen all kinds of creatures, but this is something almost otherworldly, and it kind of resembles an alligator, maybe a crocodile, a person. It's really hard to tell because it all happens so fast, and it leaps on you. That's a good response. I assume that you're going to try to fight back and get away from this creature.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there is a brief scuffle between the two of you. It is huge, and it is strong, and it nearly takes your arm off.
I am not.
Before it drags you away into the underbrush. And we, as the audience, are left in the middle of this swampy clearing, and we can hear a little distance away the sounds of a continuing struggle. And then there is silence for an indeterminate amount of time.
Long enough for the body snatcher to really take control of your body.
After some time, Braylon, you stumble back out into the clearing. You're covered in vegetation and blood and scratches, and you are wielding a very small cooking knife. It is also covered in blood. And you're pretty seriously wounded. You're still alive. And as the night and exhaustion close in, what would you like to do?
Crawl to someplace reasonably dry and sleep. And trust that because Lithandians have some degree of regeneration inborn, trust that sleep will let me recover from most of the worst of my injuries.
So you crawl off to a hollowed out log that you remember seeing just before you were attacked. And you find sleep for the night. So as Braylon wrestles with their fate, we leave the night and the vast forests and jungles of the expanse behind, and we leap across Lafandi to its capital region. There, in one of its residential districts, we see a street fair in progress. Music, laughter, the smell of delicious foods, they all swirl in the air as vendors hawk their wares and groups of children run from game booths to carnival rides and back again. Standing just inside the fair's boundaries is a lone preteen, a look of indecision on their face. Jimmy, who is this person and what are they doing at the fair?
Okay. Let me pull up my description of my character. Hold up. Sorry, had to figure this out. So there's a fairly average for a human height girl, older teenager, 16 to 17. And so she has white hair. Her hair is braided, white hair color with some purple hair ties to hide off. She's a very basic outfit for the time period, which I really cannot describe if I tried. Sorry. But the reason she's at the fair is simply because she has been very bored recently. And, you know, when there's an opportunity for a fair, there's an opportunity to meet people. And when you can meet people, you can make new friends. And that sounds like a lot of fun. So she's just going around making conversation with anyone who's willing, occasionally stopping playing a game or something. You know, she's here to have fun.
Well, speaking of new people that have been met, there is another little girl about your age. Her name is Fiona. And the two of you have been wandering the fair together. And Fiona comes back from wherever she had run off to, and she's very excited. She says, "Oh, you've got to come ride this ride. It's not really a ride. It's kind of like they're basically ponies. But I think some gem mages, I think they stuck horns to their head because they keep telling me they're unicorns, but unicorns aren't real. So
I mean, they're not real if you have that attitude. Fun.
But we gotta ride them.
Yeah, no, of course. Let's go. Let's go.
Right, so you guys run off a little ways away, and you find what is a corral of their ponies with little gem horns. They kind of look like Shetland ponies. And, you know, you wait in line and are you going to ride the ponies?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I don't like that sound. What?
So you wait in line for a little while in order to ride the ponies, and you get to your turn and you get on a stout white speckled horse, and it's got a little purple horn, and they're all tethered to the little walking. I'm not an equestrian, so I don't know what that thing is called.
The thing, yeah.
It's like the metal thing that they walk the horses with in circles. What is that thing called?
I don't know. I tell you if I
Anyway,
did.
they're all tethered to those.
Ow, a corral. I'm dying. I'm muted. It's called a corral.
Oh my god.
The thing
I'm
that
so
goes in a
sorry.
no, it's actually a mechanism that has little spokes on it.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm talking about now?
Yeah. No.
Yeah, that
Never
thing. Anyway, there's like 8 of them, and they're going around in a circle, and you hear as you've made you're about halfway through your 3rd circle when you hear a very familiar sound.
Oh.
Mary.
Mm.
Mary,
Okay.
Mary, where? Get off that horse! What are you doing? And from the crowd, your mother
Yep.
comes just barreling through the crowd toward
God.
toward the ponies, and she is about to climb the fence to get to you.
I'll be right off, Mom. Okay, I'm so sorry.
And the your friend is looking at you as if you've just grown a second head.
So sorry.
And the people who are working the pony ride are, ma'am, you can't climb the, ma'am, we'll get, ma'am. So someone else comes and takes you off the pony, and you meet your mother at the exit.
Oh boy.
What were you thinking?
I'm sorry.
Are you okay? And she just starts checking you.
Yes, no, I'm okay, Mom. It's okay. Don't think those things could hurt me if they wanted to with the people.
Have horns.
Pretty sure they're fake.
They look real. No, that's it. That's it.
I'm sorry.
I knew
Sorry.
that I shouldn't have let you come to this. It
No.
is too dangerous. We're going home.
Oh. Can I at least go say goodbye to someone?
You can wave from here. And your new friend, waves as they go around on their pony.
I'm gonna mouth to them, I'm so sorry.
So we'll leave Mary to deal with that fallout as we move along. It's a beautiful day in the Sunstone Valley capital of Feldspar. And we see a bright, happy teenager of about 17 making her way down one of the busy market roads. Brandon, please tell us who this girl is and where she's headed.
This is Kingsley Palace. And I believe she's headed to assist with audition. Nope.
This is your shopping trip.
I don't remember this.
You're going shopping.
I'm going shopping.
What are you shopping for?
I don't remember.
You could be shopping for anything.
Yeah.
Anything you want.
I'm looking for a nice hat.
A nice hat?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're making your way down the market road, and this is one of the bigger, busier market roads. They have a little bit of everything. There are food stalls. There's a small farmer's market off to one side. You can get weapons, collectibles, books, and there's even a hat store.
How fortunate.
So as you're walking past, everybody wants to wave to you. Everybody seems to know who you are. Everybody seems to like you. You stop a couple of places to say hi to a couple of particular acquaintances. What you don't know, what you do not notice as you're making your way down the road is all of the things that almost happened to you, such as almost stepping in a mud puddle, and someone else steps in it instead.
Oh,
oh, whatever. Or almost having a flower pot fall on you, but someone stops you just before it hits. Eventually, after avoiding all of these pitfalls that you barely even noticed were there, you make your way to Jessica's hat shop. And you're free to peruse the wares of the hat shop.
Looking around, I want kind of a nice little sun hat. Give me just a little bit of shade, but still the sun can poke through. But the most important thing is it has to look cute.
Well, all of my hats are cute. Are you looking for something in a wide brim and a short brim? Would you like felt? Would you like straw? I do have some lace crystal brims left. Those are a little more expensive.
Yeah, I think a wide brim lace crystal. Yeah.
Okay. Back here I've got several colors left. I have a red carnelian. I do have this is a one of a kind. This is our green emerald. And we have, don't give me that look, Joe. We also have one that will go with everything. It is an opal. The white straw of the top and the brim is opal lace. Those are the three I have left today.
Well, I was gonna see if I could get something to go with my hair as she kind of waves her iridescent, fluttering colored hair. Something about that emerald hat is drawing me.
Oh, you have great taste. And she lifts up this hat, and it's very delicate. And it's very interesting the way that the gem crafters are able to make this gemstone look like fabric for a hat. And she places it on your head, and oh yes, that makes both the hair and the hat just pop. And she like shows you to a big mirror.
I do a little twist in the way that my dress will flutter up. Kind of doing a little turnaround. Oh, I love it.
Well, can I interest you in anything else?
Gonna look around. Is there anything else that might have some reason to catch my eye?
There's all types of hats. There's top hats and bowlers, and there's those little pillbox hats, and they're sequins and very shiny hats, very plain hats with flowers, hats with crystals. That you are pretty sure you've got the gem of the bunch.
No, I think this will do me for today.
Okay, so she walks you back up to the register and begins to check you out. And she goes, "Oh goodness, well this is, well it was meant to be. It turns out that you are my millionth customer."
Well,
And
that's wonderful.
You know what? I have just the thing for you. And she pulls out a little emerald hat pin.
I love it.
And that is my gift to you for being my millionth customer.
Well, thank you so much.
So now let's head underground, east of the Sunstone Valley and deep under this. Goodness, why did I name the mountain range this? The Sulstatine Mountains is where we find our next location. Eopinon is a vast ringed mining city responsible for most of Lafondi's crystal, mineral, and stone harvest output. On one of the pedestrian walkways between the public center and the business ring, we see a group of 3 teenagers all chatting animatedly as they head toward their destination. They're each carrying a book emblazoned with "Shining Justice" on the cover. Athid, the oldest, at about 17, is tall and slender with pale gray eyes and the hair the color of summer moss. Next to him is Ava, a girl not much younger than him. Her small stature and plain clothing seem designed to draw as little attention as possible, and golden eyes shine up at him from under a light blue fringe. They're both laughing at something the girl walking backwards in front of them has just said. Calvin, why don't you tell us who she is and what this group of friends is doing?
So Arcelia, the one that's walking backwards, she's currently dressed in, typical Eopanon fashion, something that's very functional, but not super flashy. She's obviously holding her own copy of the book, and she's probably reciting some line from it or describing some part that was very action-packed, and she's miming out the actions of the hero as she's walking backwards.
Okay, so I really love when you do the dramatic readings because you really, really get into it. And Ava says, yeah, he's right. You're very good at it. But I prefer when you do the dramatic readings of the fan fiction.
Please.
She'll probably respond with, oh, you like when I do the dramatic readings of your fan fiction.
Well, yeah, but
I just
yeah.
feel called out here as a fangirl.
Well, if you ever update your writing, then I can read the next one. I know. If you ever update your next story, then I can for sure read it out loud.
I mean, yeah, it's been a little while, but we've been busy around here.
Yeah, I guess we have.
And Athid goes, oh God. So you continue walking. As you reach the end of the bridge, you see what Athid is so oh-godding about. So as you reach the end of the bridge, you find it blocked by a familiar-looking foursome. They're all dressed in highly impractical fashions for people living and working in a mining city. And that kind of seems to be the point. I'm going to butcher this name. Talindra. What is that last name, Calvin?
It's I don't know why I gave you this name. Talindra Servina.
Talindra Zerfina and her little gang of cronies are smirking at you. As you get closer, it's clear they have no intention of moving to let you pass. Do you have your little book club today? And her backup just kind of chuckles. Books.
For one thing, Shining Justice isn't simply a book, it's an adventure of magic and mystery and friendship and things you would know nothing about. And secondly, are we really doing this again?
Oh my God, you are such a nerd.
Well,
Those are
maybe
little kids' books.
adults can enjoy them too. There's complex plots and deep characters. Maybe if you read more, you would understand.
Well, I have a real job and a real life with a family who knows what they're doing. So I don't really have time to read more.
My family knows what they're doing, and I do have a real job. I just also have interesting hobbies, is all.
Nerd alert, nerd alert, nerd alert, nerd alert.
Arcelia can't really hide the frustration on her face.
Raise your hand if you're having a moment of PTSD right now.
Yeah, I know what I did when I made this character.
I just feel called out.
Okay, look. So this book, it's so good. I just should read it, right? And she reaches out to take your book.
Hey, you can get your own copy.
Oh, and she starts flipping through it. Oh, look, it's full of pictures.
The pictures are important for. Give that back.
So the two of you start to struggle a little bit and she passes it over to her cronies, and they're sort of playing keep away. And then one of them throws it a little too hard. And over the side of the bridge it goes. Down, down, gone. Because it has just gone over the side into the mining shaft.
Saw it coming, but oh.
Oh,
Is it over yet?
Oh.
well, I guess you won't be reading that one anymore. And they turn around and walk away.
Arcelia is like, the only thing stopping her from turning and pursuing is the fact that her hands are like gripped onto the edge of the bridge as she's like leaning over, and even though the book is
Watching the
disappearing from
book
sight,
fluttering.
yeah.
Is it safe?
Oh my, that was really mean. And they are just laughing all the way back into the business district.
That was my only copy of Volume 5. And I don't know when they're going to get another one. Oh, can we not just, do you want to just go and, you know?
Do I want to just go and, I don't know, cut all her hair off and tie her up with it? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know what your mother would do.
Yes, she would be mad because it would be a big embarrassment and a big deal, and it'd be a whole thing. But I can think about it.
I mean, I could give you my copy.
No, you got that signed and everything. No, I'll find another one somewhere.
And you guys start to make your way off to your destination, back across the business ring and into the residential ring. And you now have this memory to cling
Yeah.
to.
Fury is building.
This memory to traumatize the rest of the cast with. What the hell?
So
I didn't know the red GemStar had so much in common with the Red Lantern.
So from underground to outer space. This time we're not on Lafandi at all. In fact, we're not even in its pocket dimension. This time we find ourselves on a dark, broken, chaotic planet called Shadowfall. As we pass quickly over the soot and smoke-choked ruins of the barren and fallowed fields, we find our destination, Netherbrook. Netherbrook is a small castle, a Gothic Victorian structure of black stone and iron, built into the side of an impossibly tall, thin spire, gleaming and black as the castle itself. Inside, there's a small library, a dangerous, forbidden place on the world of Shadowfall. It is a luxury afforded only to those lucky enough to be granted the Empress's favor. There are two figures in this room. One, a young woman, is pacing back and forth before a small table stacked with books, while the other, a much older, near copy of the younger, watches from a small sofa tucked into one corner. Aunt Puppy, tell us a little bit about these two figures.
So the first figure is the young one is Elliot, and she is pacing back and forth in the house with her mom. And I honestly, like, I've only ever read the name, so like I've had to listen to a how to pronounce this like 7 times, and I still don't think I'm pronouncing it right. Hecata. Sitting on the couch. And literally Elliot is wearing a hole in the ground with worry as she paces back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
Dear girl, sit down. You're going to wear a hole in my new rug.
But Mom, what are we supposed to do to move these books with all of these new rulings? Everything is different now.
Ellie, we'll figure it out like we always do. For now, we continue to keep them with the rest. Standing, how are we pronouncing this? Because I usually say Hecate.
Well, hold on, let me pull it. So I literally was like, I've only ever read it. So like, I didn't know actually. So this is not at all how I thought it was pronounced. Like, I thought it was pronounced Hecate. So, you know, super duper close. According to Google, Hecate is how it's pronounced. Hecate.
Hecate darn.
I know. I'm like, that doesn't sound like the ruler of the underworld and like witchcraft. Oh, Hecate.
Standing, Hecate pulls one of the small gargoyle statues decorating the room. On the opposite wall, a small door opens slowly with a creak. Beyond the door is a space barely large enough to be called a closet, but it's a treasure trove of contraband. Various works of art, books, musical instruments, and games all fill the space. Hecate gathers the stacked books and places them on a shelf inside of this space, along with a bunch of other books. Then she taps a hidden button in the frame, and the door closes once more. They'll just have to wait a little longer for our next delivery. Hecate gently pats you, she reach over and she pats you on your head, and she passes you a glass of red wine before returning to the sofa. Now be a gem and stoke the fire.
So before Elliot sits down, she grabs some pieces of wood that she gathered from outside, and also all of the shipping documents from how this stuff came about and where all this came from. She starts throwing that as kindling in the fire to kind of keep it going. Obviously, you know, just kind of looking at her mom, thinking like, how are we going to do this all?
She'll pat the sofa next to her. Just relax.
I guess this kind of helps. And she just takes the big wine glass and takes a big drink.
And now we move forward in time. 3 years ago. Returning to the Jadeite Expanse. Were you doing the Returning to the Jadeite Expanse, we find Braylon once again preparing to be sent off by their people. This time to the Lafandi capital of Pearl, to serve as the adjunct to the Iodosian consul. Aaron, tell us what those preparations look like and how Braylon is feeling about this new chapter in their life.
So, the main thing that Braylon is doing has been, I mean, obviously they had to make sure that they were packing clothing and, you know, basic supplies. But the main thing that they've been trying to get their hands on are any books, scrolls, records of any sort about the other cultures that are on Lafandi. They're very excited. They're looking through it and, you know, talking to their parents and, you know, saying things like, well, do you think, you know, I can't wait to have the opportunity to meet all, you know, people from all of the other cultures. And I mean, I just hope that I can be of use to the consul. I'm honored that the elders chose me. I mean, do you think that there will be anyone there from maybe the from the Ash territories or the Shining Coast? I mean,
point of GM interspersing at this point in time, the
Yes.
Ash territories do not exist.
Oh, sorry.
That area
Then,
that area in this point of time is known as the Uncharted region.
okay. Then that's what I would have said.
Yes. It's Pearl.
Yeah, no,
There are
I'm
going to be people from
I'm
everywhere.
excited. That'll be amazing. I can't wait.
And you have earned this. You have earned this spot. The elders would not have chosen you had you not earned it. You know that.
I do.
And we are very proud of you.
Thank you. Well, I suppose that's everything then. I should probably be ready to head out.
Well, we do know that the cart is leaving, and your father pokes his head out of the tent, and yes, it is about that time.
Oh, I just need to grab a snack for the road.
There's some ginger snaps.
Ugh. Is there anything else?
I made some jerky.
That sounds great.
And she will hand you a small bag of jerky. Snack for the road. Make sure that you send us a Vox when you get there.
Of course.
So that we know that you have arrived safely.
Of course, Mother.
And they will walk you to and it's just a cart being pulled by a couple of mules. Again, one of the messengers is in charge of the cart and will be taking you to Pearl.
And as soon as Braylon gets to the cart, they immediately start. So you've been to Pearl already, right?
Only to drop things off and pick things up.
Oh. Well, you still have to while we're on our way, you'll have to tell me everything that you have seen while you were there.
Would that not ruin the surprise? The experience?
Everyone's experiences are different. I mean, seeing it through your eyes will be different than seeing it with my own.
I can see why the elders chose you. And the messenger will start to tell you stories of their trips to and from as you ride off through the path. It's not really a road, it's more of a path out toward the Crystallatoid Mountains, so that you can follow that up through Larmir and into Pearl.
Okay. And as they they go up, as they start riding off, and he's telling them his story, they will ever so gently just put like a hand on on his shoulder to just kind of do the I'm connecting with you kind of thing.
Okay. And your new journey begins. Meanwhile, back in Feldspar, we see that Kingsley has just arrived at a local outdoor theater to meet up with their friend Gestrine. Why did I make that name?
What was that name?
Gestrine.
Okay.
Jesse. Jesse now.
To meet up with their friend Gestrine, who she promised to help by being her partner in a duet she plans to do for her audition for the big musical that will be taking place at this theater in a few weeks. Months.
Hi, Jesse. I'm here.
Gestrine, who's all decked out in a bold red dress, sees you as you enter, and she rushes over to you. Oh my God, I was starting to worry you weren't going to make it. We are up next.
Oh, don't worry. You've got this.
So the two of you make your way toward the backstage area, and you wait for the current audition to end. And when the current audition ends, you go out and
As we walk out, I just remember. Don't forget the vibrato at the end of that seventh measure, and that you want to try and just a very slight increase in meter there. Just you got this.
I know. We've practiced this so many times. If I don't do this now, I'm never going to do it. And
Let's do it.
Rushes out onto the stage and gives her introduction. I'm Justine, and I am auditioning for really whatever part you'll give me. And then the two of you begin your duet.
I just kind of, as she's introducing herself, I just sit back and just smile at her like she's got it.
And this is my friend Kingsley, who has agreed to do the second voice in the duet.
Hi.
To help me out. And they, you notice that the director has barely been looking up as people have come out to audition. And when you say hi, and he looks up and he starts to go back down to do the not really looking, and then gives a second glance up, and you have full attention on the stage as you sing. And it's amazing. You two knock it out of the park.
You did so good.
And she's like, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. And you make your way back out to the backstage, and there's a few more auditions to happen. And then is the long process of waiting for the call sheet. I think that's what it's called. I don't know. I'm not a musical theater person. So the who's getting the parts sheet to go up.
And the whole time I'm just like, I'm
The cast
hand on her
list?
shoulder. I'm
the cast
patting
list.
her. I'm everything I can to be like, you've got this. Just be that supportive friend.
And she's not really saying much. She's just like, okay, all right, okay, okay, okay. And so it's about a half an hour, 45 minutes, and finally the cast lists go up, and she rushes over there, and she's like, oh my God.
What part did you get? What part did you get?
Oh, it's a small part, but it's great.
There's no small parts.
It's great, and then she points up to the top of the cast list to the leading role in this new musical, and there beside the name of the character, you see Kingsley. Will question mark, because they don't know what your last name is. You have just snagged yourself the leading role in a new musical in one of the biggest theaters in Feldspar.
Well, isn't that lucky?
The musical goes very well. It's an acclaimed musical in the end. And 3 months later, you're approached by you are approached by someone who works for Resonance, the largest musical entertainment group in LaFondy. And they want to sign with you.
That sounds wonderful.
And thus, Jade Crystal is born. So as Kingsley catches her big break, let's jump ahead and across the city to the headquarters of the Industrial Consortium, where the annual conference of the Assembly is about to take place. Standing just outside of the massive soft gray crystal granite building, looking up at its immense height, is Arcelia. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yes.
Okay. Is Arcelia. Arcelia, your mother still has so much to do to prep for the conference. So she has granted you the day to explore on your own. There are shops and restaurants of all sorts. Airships move about overhead to and from the shipyards and the public ports. Palace Aeromotives, their main facility, gives public tours. And there are many public parks and open air galleries here in Feldspar. What would you like to do on your first trip to the Magitech Valley?
Ooh. Well, she is really enjoying herself, especially being in this big city. It's all very new to her. The clothes she's wearing, she does have like a hood added to her outfit, which she uses to help cover her eyes from the bright light that she's not used to. She'll probably glance up at one of those airships and just shake her head in disbelief before making sure to give Palace Aeromotives a wide berth as she heads towards the shops because she still has to replace a copy of her book.
Still has to replace volume 5, huh?
Yes. It's a very important one. There's a big time
Okay, what has
skip.
it been like? If I remember correctly, it's been like 3 years. You've been looking for this book?
Yeah, they're hard to get down there.
It's been 2 years.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's also not the most recent one, so I don't know if they reprint.
It's been 84 years.
So you wander around and you find the shopping district, or at least one of the shopping districts. And you actually find that there are several large bookstores here in Feldspar. And they each seem to specialize. So you have a historical sort of nonfiction bookstore, and you have just a general bookstore. But then you find the one you're looking for. It sells nothing but genre fiction.
Heck yeah. So she will head right for that building, making sure she has, like, just double checking the money that she has on her. And she will head straight in and start looking for, I mean, in her head, there's going to be like a whole section for the Shining Justice series because it's the most important book series in LaFondy's history. But she will look to see where it is located.
It's not a huge prominent section, but it does in fact have its own little section. It's sort of not quite the middle, not quite the back, but it does have a nice little display of all the characters and a little arrangement of art above the shelves. And as you head over there, you actually bump into someone. Brandon?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
I was completely distracted. I didn't even see you there.
Oh, not a problem. Not a problem at all.
Okay, you're not like hurt or anything, right? I just
Oh, absolutely not. Are you, kind of looks at your clothing. Are you new to town?
yeah, actually, I just got here recently. In town because my mother has a big important business thing to deal with, and I just thought I'd come out here, see the sights, and explore the shops a bit.
That is fantastic. She reaches out her hand. My name's Kingsley. Kingsley
Oh.
Palace.
I'm Arcelia.
Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Palace. That name seems familiar.
Oh, it's probably because my parents they founded Palace Aeromotives.
Right, with the big ships you take right up into the sky.
Yeah, they're wonderful. Some of
Are-
them we you may not have heard. We recently developed portal ships that will go from space to space without traveling the space in between.
So you have ships that are all the way up there, as far up as you can go, and you're also going through portals?
Oh, I'm sure you could probably go up higher.
I mean, do you really want to, though?
Oh, the view is wonderful. Here, come with me. And she grabs your arm and starts going. She walks outside. She's heading towards the place that you avoided. I insist. You're new here. We are going to go for a ride on my airship. Come on.
Oh, you have your own airship. Okay, that's nice. I mean, you seem really sweet and everything, and I really like your hat, but I don't know if
Thanks. I love it. Nope.
All
right, here we are.
And Arcelia is trying to like politely protest, but is gradually getting more and more nervous as the two of them approach the airship.
Oh dear. You're afraid of heights, aren't you?
No?
No.
It is okay. Lots of people are. First, let me tell you, airships are statistically speaking the safest way to travel.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure it's really safe being all the way up there with nothing below you but air and a hard surface.
Yes, I can see the reason for the hesitance. Second, and she'll kind of reach back behind the kind of rim or whatever, pull out a backpack. These are what we call fall chutes. So if you put this on, there's actually a really wonderful, like, think like a giant umbrella. And so just like a giant umbrella, when it's falling down, the air catches it and makes it fall slower. And you land safely on the ground. So if anything were to be happen, and as she's saying that, she's putting it on you, you're just if something happens, this little rope thing right here, you'll just pull it. You'll be fine. And finally, if you still aren't feeling quite right for it, we do have a little bit of a what do we call it? I guess we call it like a relaxer that can kind of help ease your nerves so that you can really enjoy the trip.
I don't know if that's.
And she hands a drink and puts it in your hand.
Do they have branded drugs?
She's got the drink in one hand and she's already holding the rope in the other.
I'm pretty sure it's like bourbon or something.
Here's our relaxer. Here, have alcohol.
And she'll just escort you on the ship.
Oh, okay, we're already on. Well, I mean, the ship does look nice and I can, picture it being in the air, so I think that's enough for me.
Cast off!
And
Okay.
Your pilot goes, oh, okay. And there's this subtle hum that you can hear as the magic that makes an airship fly begins to vibrate throughout the ship. And on the sides, you can see what color are the stones or what color are the crystals used in your ship?
Emerald, of course.
Okay. So there is a subtle green glow that begins to emanate from the sides of the ship. And these airships, the palace airships, are very sleek. They look almost like birds. Like if an ocean vessel was shaped like a bird, and it has sails. That's kind of what these airships look like. So they're very sleek, they're very stylish, and they're very, very fast. And the green glow starts to emanate from the sides as the ship rises off the ground. And before you know it, you are hundreds of feet above the city.
So here's the important thing. Don't look as we take off, just sit right here. And when we've reached altitude, I'll let you know, then you can take a look. Everybody looks like ants. It's great.
Okay, you let me know, and that's when I'll open my eyes.
Well, as you sit down, by the way, you look to the chair to your left, and there's a signed copy of the 5th volume of Shining Knights.
Shining Justice.
Shining Justice.
And as we deal with this trauma, we are going to go ahead and take our break. We're going to take a quick break. We still have a few scenes to get through, and these are those sprinkle of plot that I promised scenes. This will bring us closer to where we start the game. So we're going to take our quick break. We're going to get up, stretch our legs, refill our waters,